Good morning, and thanks again, Susan, for allowing me to come and sit and talk to you a little bit about the Coast Guard and some of the education and extra benefits and stuff that we have. So the students will get to know me as Petty Officer DeVore, but you can call me Melissa. So some of the things that I just want to make sure that the students understand is how our education benefits work. So we have what's called tuition assistance. The tuition assistance allows them to go to school and earn their degree while they are still serving their contract. Whether it's 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, whatever they choose to do, they can go to school after they're done with their workday. It's awesome. It's about $4,500 a year that they allow. There are a couple other programs, assistance programs that they can qualify for extra things after that. Or if they want to take an extra course or whatever, then they can maybe put in for a grant also, so they can kind of continue on that. But normally what I try to express to them is by the time they're done with their first contract of the service, they should have at minimal a associate degree. Most of our members actually do walk away with a bachelor's degree. The cool thing about what I did though is I took my post 9/11 bill, or for me actually it was the Montgomery GI bill, because I kind of dated myself a little bit how old I am, but I transferred mine over to my child, which every service member is allowed to do that as well. So because I knew that I was getting mine paid for by the Coast Guard, I just went ahead and transferred my benefits over to my son. So my son also was able to get his degree, also courtesy of the Coast Guard. So now we have two people in our home that have bachelor degrees with no out-of-pocket pay. So that is a huge incentive for a lot of our students that don't know how they're going to pay for their college. So some of the things that I like to teach them too is you can actually take those, get your degree, save your other benefits from that. Once you get done serving, if you don't want to transfer that to a spouse or a child, you can utilize that yourself. That'll give you a housing allowance every month at an E5 rate for whatever zip code it is that you choose to go to school for. And then that's the housing allowance that they'll give you for that. So you kind of get paid to go to school. So if you already have your bachelor's degree, but you want to continue on with your master's, that's a really good way to do it. Is to go ahead and save that and then work on your master's and utilize that money while you're doing it. Some of the other things that we have are our money allowances. So we do have, like I just mentioned, that housing allowance. So not only are you getting a regular paycheck, but you're also getting a housing allowance. You get a clothing allowance, and then also you get a meal allowance. A lot of these students don't understand what that means. When they look at their parents, they're like, oh, their parents are going to work, and then they cover, all these bills, all that money, and then they don't understand why their parents don't have any money to, give them whatever it is they want. One of the things that I do like for them to understand is we get free medical, free dental, and free vision while you're serving. If you have your parents, let's just say this, use them as an example. When you watch your parents go to work every day to have to pay all these bills, and then like I said, and then they don't understand why there's no money left over. Here's the big difference. We give you that housing allowance. So we give you the money to live in the apartment or the house that you want to live in. If you're smart, what it's supposed to be used for, and a lot of kids, when they're young, they don't kind of grasp this. You take that housing allowance and you make sure that your rent or the mortgage, along with your utility bills, fall within that BAH bracket for that housing allowance. And then that way, the only thing that you have to use your paycheck to cover would be your internet, your cable, your food, gas, grocery, I think I said food already, car payments, insurance payments, and stuff like that. Your medical and your dental and your vision is 100% free. So if you wear glasses think of the cost of glasses nowadays. I think my mom just paid over $400 for a new pair of glasses. But on average, I think it's about two, maybe between 150 to 250, somewhere in there. But think about that. That's an expense that you're going to have every single year, that the military covers those expenses. Then you get your clothing allowance, and just there's so many different things that these kids nowadays just they don't understand. So I'm hoping that maybe I can get them to understand that. That thinking about how much extra money they can put into a savings account when they don't have to cover all those expenses. When you have your apartment and your house paid for, when you have your medical, vision, dental paid for, when you have your education benefits paid for. I mean, the sky's the limit on what these kids can actually save. If they do it right, every time that they make rank, if you will, they transfer, they go from E3 to E4, E4 to E5, whatever that difference of pay is, if they just put that into a savings account, then in the long run, if they choose to retire out of here, or even in that 4 years, just saving that little bit of money can really, truly set them up for success. And then they can just, go on and do whatever it is they want to do after the fact. So I'm really, really hoping that they can grasp some of that. If you have kids that are interested, just let me know. Or I have some business cards I'll leave here with you, or you can send them to our website, gocoastguard.com, and let them check out some of the job availabilities we have, a little bit of the benefits and stuff also that we have, those education and housing and other money, if you will. Money is a big thing for these kids. So send them my way. If they have any other questions, just have them reach out and give me a call. Thank you so much, Susan, again for your time, and you have a wonderful, blessed day.